So we can see here within the portal, we have the ability to upload the file. We can go and into the view edit command with the three dots here, see the file, download a copy to our local if we want, even delete it. But there's not a lot of options at the portal level when it comes to manipulating this file, moving it around, moving it to another storage account, moving it to another container, etc. So in this particular case, we're going to want to download a program called AzCopy. Now, if we go into your favorite search engine and search for AzCopy, you'll find a link that basically downloads it directly into your computer. And if you download that software and you hit the setup button, you'll be able to basically install this right within your C drive there. Now, the reason why we're installing AzCopy is that we're going to use this command line tool to then manipulate the files and move them. Say we want to move this 1-01 file into the images folder. We'll show you how to do that. Now, by default, it was downloaded into my C program files, x86, Microsoft FCKs, Azure AzCopy folder. I do need to add this into my path file. So if I go into the environment variables settings within system properties and Windows, and I go into path and I say edit, obviously this is unique to my account on my Windows. I could obviously make it system wide, but adding the AzCopy into the path is what's going to allow me to access it. Now I prefer to use PowerShell for doing this. If I go into here and I say AzCopy, then it's found AzCopy, obviously. Now AzCopy is going to be fairly easy to use, and it actually saying /? has shown me some examples here. What we want to do is we want to copy a blob within a storage account. Okay, so we're going to use something like this to say from this container and this folder to this other container and this other folder. Okay, so let's use this type of syntax. So it's AzCopy. I apologize. Actually, I'll clear it. Clear. So before we continue, let's log into our Azure account. That is AZ login. This is going to pop up a dialog in which we're going to have to log into our Microsoft Azure account. I'm going to use my account. It says you have logged into Azure. You can close this window, or it's going to close itself. I'll leave that there. So now we're logged in. So we want to use the AzCopy command. The first parameter of that is source. Okay, go back here. I'm going to close this. Now in this instance, we want to copy the 1-01 JPEG. So the source that we need is going to basically be the container. So we're going to go up to the blob level. We see that we only have the one container, and I go into container properties, and I can get the URL for the container right from here. So go back to the Windows PowerShell, and this is the source container. Now we need the destination container. Okay, now the destination container is going to be the same container, but it's just going to have a different folder structure. So in this case, we're going to make it the images virtual directory. So if I go back here, go back into the container, we know we want to copy this file from here into the images directory, and so we simply make the destination to be the images directory. Now the third parameter is called pattern. Now we know that our file is 101.jpg, and so that is the pattern that we're going to look for in the first container to copy into the images virtual directory. Now we do need to provide keys for this. And so we go back to our storage account, go back up to the storage account level. We probably need to go into the access keys and copy one of the keys. Now that's not the only option. It does support SAS, shared access signatures. So if we go into our blob here, we could have generated secure access signature on this file and then copied, say generate that. We could have copied the SAS token as opposed to using the key. For the sake of this example, I'm going to use the key. So we're going to say source key. It's this. I'm going to put this into quotes just to be safe. And the other parameter is destination key. And since it's the same storage account, then the key is the same as well. Obviously, if we were copying this across multiple storage accounts, we would have different keys. Okay, so if I was to run this, I would expect that the 101 image would be copied using a server-side copy. That means that it's not downloading the file to my local and then re-uploading the file. This is especially important not for 200 kilobyte files, but for megabyte, gigabyte, and beyond files that you don't want to incur the cost of and the time of downloading the file and then having to upload it again. Of course, Microsoft charges, bandwidth costs as well as time. So using server-side copy is what you do with AzCopy. Now there is a parameter for if you do want to copy local. That's called sync copy. So sync copy. If I put this parameter, it would copy the image into local memory. It's not going to save it to my system, but it will copy this image to my local memory and upload it to the new storage account. But I want this to all happen behind the scenes, so I won't do that. So recklessly hit enter, and we can see that the number of files transferred is 1. It took a fraction of a second. If I go back to the storage account and I go into the images folder, I will see that that file has been copied from the root into the images folder. Okay. So that's how you do server-side copying. You use AzCopy. If you wanted to then delete the image from the root, that's a separate command, of course. And so that's how you would basically move files between storage accounts, between entire subscriptions. As long as you have the access keys for that, you can do that.